For the first time in, over a decade, the good old web browser is getting a massive, massive upgrade. We're going to be looking at Perplexity's Comet. It's an AI-powered browser that promises to do more than just show you the internet. It promises to act on it for you. And honestly, this could change everything.
So, the whole idea behind the article we're diving into today was this pretty wild experiment, letting an AI browser run your life for an entire week. It sounds a little bit sci-fi, right? Maybe even a little terrifying. So let's break down exactly what went down when someone handed over the keys. So, why is everybody talking about this thing called Comet? Well, for starters, people are calling it the first truly agentic browser, which is just a fancy way of saying it actually does stuff for you. On top of that, it's completely free, it's made by the super buzzy AI company Perplexity, and it's already picking fights with giants like Amazon. Yeah, this is clearly way more than just another browser.
And that's the thing. This isn't just about a new paint job or a couple new features. No, we are talking about a fundamental shift in what a browser is and what it even does. It's a move that could kick off the first real browser war we've seen in decades. Think back to the old Internet Explorer versus Netscape days. It's that big a deal.
Okay, so here's the crucial difference you need to get. Your current browser, whether it's Chrome or Safari, it's basically a passive window, right? You look through it, you click on things. An agentic browser, like Comet, though, is an active assistant. You give it a task, and it goes out onto the web to get it done. That simple change completely rewrites our relationship with the internet. So, okay, enough with the theory, let's get practical. What does this new AI assistant actually do? Because if you've ever gotten frustrated with how limited Siri or Google Assistant can be, you're going to want to pay attention to this.
And I love how the article we're looking at framed this difference. On one side, you've got Siri energy. It sets a timer, it plays a song, answers some trivia. But Comet brings the main character energy. It can read your email and go book an appointment for you, or it can compare products across 10 different websites. It's the difference between a simple little tool and a truly proactive assistant.
Here's a perfect example of what it can do. The author gave it a really simple task: find cheap AirPods alternatives. Now, instead of just getting a page of blue links, Comet went out on its own, browsed a bunch of sites, pulled all the key data, and then presented a final, sourced recommendation in this neat little comparison table. That's hours of human research done in seconds.
And the superpowers just keep coming. It can read your Gmail and figure out what's important, kind of like an executive assistant. It can manage your Google Calendar so it actually understands your schedule. It has Perplexity's amazing answer engine built right in so you can bypass all those endless links. And maybe the most impressive thing, it remembers context when you switch between tabs so it actually knows what you're trying to accomplish. It's pretty wild.
Okay, I know. It all sounds pretty incredible, doesn't it? Almost revolutionary. But, as you've probably guessed by now, there's a pretty big catch.
Because when you have all that power, with all that power comes some really serious risk. An all-powerful tool can do amazing things, but it can also create some all-powerful problems. Just let that sink in for a second. This isn't some random person on the internet. This is a direct quote from cybersecurity researchers who actually tested the browser. They found that a single bad link could trick Comet's AI into handing over your emails and your calendar data. That is a massive, massive red flag.
And the problems don't just stop there. A core issue, as the author put it, is that the AI is just too trusting. It's also tangled up in a legal fight with Amazon for being too good at finding deals. And on top of all that, you have to remember, this thing is still in beta. That means it's buggy, it's unstable, and it's prone to crashing.
So what does it even mean for an AI to be too trusting? Well, it means the browser can't tell the difference between a command you give it and a hidden command that's sneakily embedded on a website. It's kind of like having a friend who believes literally everything they read online, except this friend has the keys to your email, your calendar, and all your shopping accounts. Yikes. So what we have here is this incredible futuristic tool that is also a potential security nightmare, which of course brings us to the biggest question of all. Is it worth the risk?
So who is this actually for right now? Well, you should definitely consider giving it a try if you want a taste of the future, if you value speed way more than perfection, and you're okay with the risks of being a beta tester. On the other hand, you should absolutely skip it for now if you care about privacy, if you need a rock-solid, reliable browser, or if you're just not comfortable with an AI having the keys to your entire digital kingdom.
After a full week of using it, the author gave it a 7 out of 10. And that score, I think, perfectly captures the whole vibe. It's a revolutionary piece of tech, for sure. But it is very, very far from finished.
And maybe this final verdict from the author puts it best. The potential is huge, absolutely. But the risks are so real that you wouldn't recommend it to someone who isn't super tech-savvy. Right now, Comet is a fascinating toy for power users, but it is not a daily driver for the rest of us. Not yet.
So here's the ultimate takeaway. Comet is an exciting, maybe even a necessary step forward for the internet. It shows us what browsing could be. But it's also that classic Silicon Valley story of move fast and break things. And in this case, the things being broken could be your personal security.
With Comet shaking everything up, and with all the rumors that Google and OpenAI are building their own versions of this, one thing is crystal clear. The browser wars are officially back. This is just the beginning of a whole new internet. The real question for all of us is, as these tools get more and more powerful, how much control are we willing to give up for a little more convenience?